All right. Would you believe me if I told you that we tried going live about 8 hours ago and we had some technical difficulties and I couldn't go live for whatever reason. So we had to restart all the systems and well, now we're live. So it is nighttime, obviously. So we changed the background. Welcome in either way, though, to the Saturday live show. This is what real dedication is. OK, so I'm showing up for you all. Make sure that you comment and you subscribe if you like this type of content. We have a very impactful, resourceful, and entertaining night tonight, as we're going to be talking about 6 different topics. You heard that right, 6 different topics. I'm more than excited because I literally have all this built-up tension from all day with pre-planning the show, and I'm like, this should have been out hours ago. But you know what? We're here, and you're watching it because, well, I have my commentary, and you want to know what's going on financially and economically, and we have some politics as well, as far as tonight's show. So I appreciate everybody who has subscribed. I appreciate everybody who has liked, commented, and shared their thoughts because the channel is blowing up. Shout out to you all. I wouldn't be able to literally know that this content is working if it wasn't for you all engaging and actually taking the time out your day to watch the content. So I appreciate each and every single one of you all. We're going to get into the first topic of tonight. Before we do, I just want to let you know, the chat is open. I do have the chat right in front of my eyes. And if you guys have any questions or any comments that you would like to discuss about and get your comments shared on the show live, then you go ahead and comment or type in the chat. And between each segment that we talk about, I'm going to bring those comments up, okay? Because I love having a conversation with you all, and I really want to hear different perspectives as I share my own opinion that I strongly believe in. So we're going to go ahead and get to the first topic, which a lot of you might have not even known or may have known about, but apparently President Trump captured the president of Venezuela and his wife. So we're going to go ahead and look at that and see what's going on over there. But all I know is Democrats are pissed at this decision, and let's just get into it. It's just too good for me to even continue talking about. Let's go.
And we start with Lucas Tomlinson live in West Palm Beach, where the commander-in-chief has been spending the holidays. And Lucas, you've had great coverage overnight here. What else are we learning about this operation?
Good morning, Griffin. A daring operation in the pre-dawn hours and 2 a.m. local in Caracas, 1 a.m. East Coast time. U.S. Special Operations Forces flew in from off the coast of Venezuela to snatch Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife. President Trump announcing the news on Truth Social a short time ago. I'll read it for our viewers. It says, quote, "The United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President Donald J. Trump." And just before the assault force arrived at Maduro's compound, you can imagine the intelligence that U.S. intelligence agency had to have to know where to send the assault force to be able to locate and grab Maduro as well as his wife. You had numerous airstrikes throughout Caracas targeting Maduro's forces at a military base in Caracas as well as an air base, also Venezuela's largest port. And this is something President Trump has been threatening for months. It started with the drone strikes on the alleged drug boats in the Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific, over 24 to date, killing over 100 people. You saw it when U.S. forces seized, as a law enforcement matter, the oil tankers that the Trump administration said were associated with the Maduro regime. The goal is to cut off the drug and oil revenue stream for Nicolas Maduro. And for months, we've heard President Trump say that Maduro must go, and Maduro was very...
Shout out to the U.S., man. Shout out to President Trump. A lot of people aren't going to like that, especially Democrats. But I did some extensive research earlier in today. A lot of Democrats, the Democratic Party is very upset. They're calling it illegal what President Trump did because he didn't get approval by Congress. But the truth is, other presidents have done this. Obama did this. I mean, just do your own research. Obama had done this. I'm going to see if I can bring up the article. Obama had made a move without Congress's approval. and I believe President Reagan. But do your own research, right? Because I found an article earlier today that talked about how these other presidents, okay, even Democrat presidents that were in office, made a move without congressional approval. And so obviously you're going to have negative feedback because President Trump is literally one of the loudest presidents to ever live and be in office. But it is also a bold move. A lot of other countries and regions aren't happy with this. But if you do your research, you would know that the president of Venezuela was a part of a cartel. He was involved in the cartel, importing drugs into the United States. Okay? Cocaine to be one of the major ones. Not only that, but it has a correlation to do with fentanyl. I personally know someone whose relative died of fentanyl. I don't approve of things like that. Now, some people can't say that. Some people can say worse. But here's the thing. The bad people need to be put away. All right. And I also read that President Trump gave many warnings long before the president of Venezuela's capture. So there's a lot of beef going on. But I'm telling you right now, I think it was a great move. At the end of the day, he had warnings. At the end of the day, there were drugs that were imported, and he was part of the cartel that was bringing in. Now, I'm not saying he was in the cartel, but he was involved with the cartel with importing drugs. Not only that, I watched other YouTubers have their videos up and news stations, just like we're watching now, and I read the comment section. And there's people in Venezuela that have families in Venezuela, people who are from Venezuela that live in the US as well. And they're saying that a lot of people are actually happy that Trump made this move. Not only because what's happening in Venezuela involves children being malnourished, basically they're starving over there, but because their government was corrupt. They're saying their families back home in Venezuela are celebrating. And then you have people in Florida who are celebrating as well. So when we think about this in a wider broad span, right? Because I like to see both ends of the stick, right? I'm not just going to say, oh, because he captured someone who was selling drugs or participated in selling drugs, then it's a good move. But I'm like, what are the people of Venezuela saying? And of course, you got people who are going to be upset. You got people who are going to be, it's very embarrassing to the government, the Venezuelan government, that they got their president captured. But hey, like I said in the beginning, shout out to the US. I'm just going to go ahead and play the rest of the clip so we can go ahead and see what's going on.
Very defiant, despite repeated threats from President Trump. Over 15 times, President Trump said he will be striking on land. Recall on Monday, we heard the president confirming that the CIA struck a target along the coast of Venezuela, destroying some of Maduro's drug boats. And again, this has been something that is not quite unprecedented. We saw in 1989 with the seizure of Manuel Noriega from Panama. This is something that the president wanted. We had not heard from President Trump, almost shades of Operation Midnight Hammer when those B-2s struck Iran. We haven't seen President Trump over the past 2 days. We heard from him on New Year's Eve. It was interesting. A reporter asked the president what his goal was for this coming year. He replied, peace. Well, for the President Nicolas Maduro, he didn't get that. Now, we did hear from Maduro yesterday, guys. He sounded like he was almost pleading in an interview done from a car, believe it or not, saying he was almost begging the Trump administration for a deal with oil. Of course, many American oil firms were kicked out of Venezuela decades ago. We've heard from President Trump in recent days saying he wants that oil back and the company's in.
Well, and it's excuse me, pretty clear, Lucas, that the clock had run out for Nicolas Maduro to come to the table despite that interview that he did. Lucas, we're just getting a tweet this morning from Senator Mike Lee, who is saying just got off the phone with Secretary Rubio. He informed me that Nicolas Maduro has been arrested by U.S. personnel to stand trial on criminal charges in the United States, and that the kinetic action we saw tonight was deployed to protect and defend those executing the arrest warrant. This action likely falls within the president's inherent authority under Article 2 of the Constitution to protect U.S. personnel from an actual or imminent attack. It's interesting as we read that, Lucas, the vice president, Delcy Rodriguez of Venezuela, took earlier to state TV in Venezuela demanding proof of life of Maduro. But it's pretty apparent that it's unclear who is running that country right now. You're looking live at some of the strikes.
And if y'all didn't know as well, I believe Trump tweeted or gave an announcement and said that the U.S. is going to temporarily be in charge of Venezuela. That's not me quoting his exact words, but definitely there was news that Trump had admitted that, hey, we're going to be having some control over Venezuela right now as the president is captured. So this is going to be very interesting. I also believe a big part of this is about oil control, because Venezuela is where I believe the U.S. Gets their oil from, or partially gets their oil from. So I don't think this is just a drug bust. I think it's also a power move in order to control a specific market as well. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below.
Indication about who is running the country there now, and whether or not any of the other individuals, like the vice president and others associated with Maduro's regime, may be targets still.
Your body doesn't heal until...
All right, so we're not going to go ahead. We're not going to watch the ads. We're just going to skip the ads.
What's notable, that statement from Venezuela's vice president confirming the news from President Trump that President Nicolas Maduro and his wife were seized by that American assault force, likely either the Delta Force or SEAL Team 6, flown by the 160th Special Operation Aviation Regiment, the Night Stalkers, the most elite pilots in the world. It's notable, we saw the video of those U.S. Army helicopters flying low over Venezuela under the cover of those airstrikes in darkness, that you didn't see any Venezuelan surface-to-air missiles or AAA anti-aircraft fire. And it's notable, Griff, that I spoke to Elliot Abrams, President Trump's former special envoy to Venezuela recently. He said this was a showdown between President Trump and Nicolas Maduro, and there could only be one winner. And that is why President Trump likely did not back down. You had this large military buildup in the Caribbean. You have about a dozen warships offshore. You have the USS Gerald R. Ford strike group that was rerouted from Europe, came to the Caribbean. You had the USS Iwo Jima amphibious assault ship. You have dozens of helicopters aboard there, of course, dozens of strike aircraft aboard Ford. You also had squadrons of F-35 stealth fighter jets from the Air Force that arrived in Puerto Rico in recent days from the Air Force, including the Green Mountain Boys from Vermont. You also had the Marine Corps.
So yeah, like I said, like they're talking about the capturing and how it happened. Again, shout out to the U.S., man. Shout out to those who are in service. Shout out to the team who obviously performed this. To think that somebody else's president got captured is insane. Imagine our president getting captured, and he has a lot of enemies, but President Trump quoted, "We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, judicious transition." The president said, "We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. We're going to run it essentially until such time as a proper transition can take place." Now, Trump is he's a little unpredictable. I do think this is a good move, and again, this quote is from the Guardian, so you guys can look up that article from the Guardian. But I just wanted to share this with you all because obviously this has been on the news all day. This happened really early in the morning. And again, I don't think it's just about the drugs. I think it's about the money, as politics are almost always about, and about the oil and control. So obviously the Venezuela president was definitely guilty of something. I mean, he was recorded basically pleading almost for mercy the day before. Y'all heard it from Fox right there. Like, you can't make that type of stuff up. All right. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below, and we can chop that up. All right. Subscribe if you like the content. Let's go. All right, my people. The second topic we're going to go ahead and cover tonight is actually there's a new flu going around apparently, and people are sharing their symptoms and they're sharing what they're going through and they're sharing what they did to get over it. So be aware and let's take heed to what's going on because it ain't safe out here in these streets. All right.
If nobody told y'all, I'm gonna be the one to tell y'all. This new flu that's going around, this shit is no joke. I was just sick for like 4 days with this shit, and when I tell you, it was like a cold times 10. Like fever up and down, like heavy sweating, chills, like for real, be careful. If nobody told
Take your vitamin C, take your probiotics. That's all I'm gonna say. My mom was telling me a couple of days ago, there's a new flu going around. There's a new flu going around. There's a new flu going around. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna take any risks. I went and brought probiotics, all right, to improve my gut health, which also improves your immune system. I took 500, whatever the dosage was of vitamin C. All right, I've been drinking my water. You know what I'm saying? Stay safe out here because I'm not for to getting sick at all. I hate getting sick. It slows me down. It slows my progress down. You don't feel good, obviously. I got hand sanitizer everywhere, sitting in my car, sitting at my desk at work, sitting at my desk right here, sitting in my book bag, sitting in the kitchen. I got hand sanitizer near the game system. You know, I got hand sanitizer everywhere. So stay sanitized, stay healthy, stop eating the junk food. A lot of people like to eat food just because it's convenient. Eat food because it helps your health. Food isn't there for you to just get full off of. Food is there for your body to run efficiently as well. Okay. All right.
So I'm not even trying to fearmonger. This is like a warning for real. If you don't work tomorrow on New Year's Eve, you might as well just stay inside the house. This new flu strain that's going around is unlike anything I have ever felt in my life. For me, it lasted for about 5 to 6 days. I just got done battling it. Worst Christmas ever. Today's the first day that I finally feel good. I got up to 103 at one point. The worst symptom for me was the body aches. Have y'all ever seen those movies or TV shows of like the Tudor times or the medieval times of the people sick as a dog, laying in bed, unable to move? That's literally how I felt. I've been sick before, been sick plenty of times. This was worse than COVID. This was unlike anything I have ever felt before. I literally texted my friend and I was like, I think I'm about to die. Like, I genuinely thought, I was like, oh, this is it for me. Like, I thought I was gonna die. I feel like people need to take this shit more serious. Like, this is no joke. I could 100% understand why there's been so many deaths. I feel like if you have any preconditions, like medically, and you get this, you're done. Like, I thank God that I had nothing wrong with me. I have nothing wrong with me medically. Because I probably would have been dead. I'm really just posting this to spread awareness. Like, if you can help it, if you really want to go out, after you touch a doorknob, wash your hands. Do not share drinks with anybody. You might as well just bring your own shots in your bag. Like you might as well wear a mask on New Year's. Like,
Yeah, as soon as I hear that a large group of people are sick, it's probably too late. Like, a large group of people had to get sick in order for there to be some type of news out that there's something new out. And don't get me wrong, I can 100% believe that some of these viruses or whatever, flu or whatever, I believe that they are created to a certain degree. They're created to a certain degree because people being sick just makes the economy more money, especially big pharma. There's nothing that, I'm not going to say scares me, but there's nothing that puts me in the place of like, you know what? Let me take my health more serious than hearing that a lot of other people are sick. even if it's a cold or something. Like, I don't take no flu shots. I'm not injecting anything into my body that I don't have to. I know it can make your immune system stronger or whatnot, but people will still catch the flu when they get their flu shots. And then you telling me that the flu is changing, or there's something going on and people don't even know how to identify it. They're not staying clean. Just miss me with the pricking and putting stuff in my body. I'm good. I'm already putting food in my body that I didn't, kill an animal for and didn't know where it necessarily came from verbatim. So you know what? We're just gonna keep the rest of the stuff out. But I 100% believe that some of this stuff is created to get people sick, and I'm just not for it. I'm just not for it. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. Have you gotten sick recently, and are some of the things that you're going through, is that making you aware that there's something new? Do you think there's something new out here?
If you have any preconditions, like medically, and you get this, you're done. Like, I thank God that I had nothing wrong with me. I have nothing wrong with me medically, because I probably would have been dead. I'm really just posting this to spread awareness. Like, if you can help it, if you really want to go out, after you touch a doorknob, wash your hands. Do not share drinks with anybody. You might as well just bring your own shots in your bag. Like you might as well wear a mask on New Year's. Like, it's just like not even worth it. Like, the body aches was the worst symptom. Oh my God, I'll never forget how painful that was. The body aches, you literally can't move. It's like you're sitting and you're just paralyzed. Like, even just moving your arm like an inch like this, like it hurts. Like, even just reaching over to your nightstand to grab.
Not gonna lie, that's how I was when I had COVID. My back was hurting like a mug. I was in the gym, and I most definitely do not lift the heaviest weight. I've never injured myself in the gym. I never will, because I don't try to ego lift. I lift for strength, and I lift for endurance. I lift for aesthetics. I don't lift to impress other dudes or even impress women. I don't really care about any of that. I care about if it's actually challenging to me or not. But nevertheless, I remember being in the gym when I did have COVID, and my back was hurting like a mug. And I'm like, why is my back hurting so much? I can barely even exercise. It's like I tore something, or not broken something, but I tore something. And it's like, I just couldn't operate my body the same. It was almost like something was out of line or something. But come to find out, I knew it was COVID when another family member, my girlfriend, had the same back pain. And I'm like, why does it sound like it's spreading? And now I got a head cold, and this is the first time I ever experienced this. And somebody else got a COVID test who had those same symptoms, who ended up getting those symptoms from me, and they tested positive for COVID. So we all had to stay quarantined. But yeah, it's serious out here, man. Like, hopefully this isn't going to spread too crazy. Hopefully it's not COVID or an extreme flu, but these people ain't lying about what they're going through. I know that for sure.
The virus that's going around right now is so strange, the symptoms. I started off with a somewhat of like a sore throat, like that literally felt like I was like swallowing knives. And then that went away. And then I had like nasal drip and super stuffy nose, and like a lot of sinus pressure. Now that kind of went away. And now I have like, my head is I have like a headache, no fever though, like the whole time, no fever. I had super bad body aches like throughout my entire body, and it's not a flu, it's not COVID. What else? I think that's it. The body aches was really strange. Like, for one day, every time I'd lift up something, like I felt like it was super painful because I had like no energy through my muscles. I've been taking so much medicine. What else? Oh, night like sweats. It's awful, like genuinely awful. And of course it happens to me on Christmas Eve. Love that. So yeah, whatever you do, like, actually wear a mask, because this is
And another thing about people wearing masks, I just don't understand, is you need to wear a mask if you're sick, not wear a mask if you're not sick. I think that's the dumbest thing in the world, is to wear a mask when you're not sick. When the people who are sick, they don't wear a mask, and their germs are still spreading, landing on stuff. The people who are sick need to be wearing a mask, for one. But this sounds like exactly what the last girl was talking about. An aching body, barely being able to move. Remember, I told you when I had COVID, my back was hurting. I was barely able to move, and then it spread to somebody else, and their back was hurting, and they were barely able to move, and they got tested for COVID, and they were positive for it. I'm not saying this is COVID again, but it's like, man, some of this stuff, again, I just wholeheartedly believe that it's created in a lab for people to get sick, and then Big Pharma can make their dollars, so they can make their money. All right, but let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below, and subscribe if you like the content.
Is anyone else experiencing like a really weird virus this year that's testing negative for like COVID and flu and everything, but they're still extremely sick, like flu symptoms, but no positive flu test? I swear everybody that I know, including myself and my husband, have gone through this. Right before Thanksgiving, my throat started getting scratchy and it was really sore for a couple of days. And then the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, it hit me so goddamn hard out of nowhere. Like, I don't nap, and all I wanted to do that day was sleep, and I ended up sleeping most of the day. I had the fever chills where I was sweating but then really cold. I had extreme body aches, horrible headache. I was just so extremely tired. And then the next day I was able to put a little energy in and get some cooking done, but then I was done. I was on the couch the whole rest of the day, so exhausted. My body hurt so bad, and I fell asleep super early. Then the next day my throat got even worse, where it hurt so bad, and like over time it became hoarse. I couldn't speak. And then I started the nasal drip, and then my nose got clogged, and then the sinuses just hit so hard. I had the worst sinus headache for days. The cough started. I had like literally every symptom, but never actually a fever. Just felt flushed and hot, but no fever ever. I even had some nausea. I had a bunch of little symptoms, but the main thing was the sore throat, and then the freaking exhaustion and just complete body aches, and then the nasal sinuses. And I literally felt like crap from Wednesday to Sunday. I slowly got some energy back the following week, but the nasal sinuses just kept on going. I think it was day 9 when it finally started to settle up a little bit, but it is now the 18th of December, and I still have sinuses stuff. It took about 2 weeks to hit my husband, and now he's just out for the count, and it's just spiraling everywhere, going through the house. And I'm just like, tested negative for COVID. I tested flu twice, and it came back negative, and I'm just like, what the frick is this? I'm just curious if anybody else.
So this is actually one of the examples to where someone got tested for COVID and the flu, and they tested negative for both. I would like to see her take multiple tests again, because just because it says negative the first time don't mean it's going to stay negative. You know what I'm saying? Get that that double check, that triple check. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. Have you had symptoms like this recently? And if you have, what do you think it is? All right. What do you believe it is? If you've gotten your answer. I don't play about this stuff, man. Again, as soon as I heard that people were getting sick, or there's something spreading around, you know, such and such isn't feeling so good because this is going around, I'm like, hand sanitizer it up. I'm not rubbing my eyes. I'm not rubbing my nose, my ears. I'm done eating dairy at the moment to the best of my ability. If you didn't know, dairy does create mucus in your body. Mucus can hold certain things like germs and viruses and stuff. So I heard. I'm good on all of that. I know you can't be a perfectionist, but I'm going to do better with taking care of my body. I started taking berries that had elderberries in them, which boost your immune system. I started taking vitamin C and probiotics. I'm not playing around, but if you have these symptoms, hopefully you feel better. And if you have had these symptoms, let me know again, what are your thoughts about what is spreading around? And if you like this type of content, make sure you subscribe.
There's a mystery illness going on right now, and people are experiencing similar symptoms.
So obviously I cannot diagnose what you have, nor would I try to. I'm not an MD, but I am an immunologist who knows quite a bit about respiratory viruses. So let's talk about the quote unquote mystery illness that is going around right now. If you are a follower of mine, like and follow, you may already know what I'm talking about, because I have a pinned video posted where I talked about what was going to happen. back in October. All right, so what is this mystery illness that's going around? Like some physicians on this app say, Tommy, who's a friend of mine, and I respect his opinion, and I believe he's probably correct actually for a lot of cases, it just may be a virus that we don't typically test for in a given respiratory panel. However, we are also having an off-cycle year for an enterovirus called EDV68. Every 2 years or so, there is a spike in this enterovirus in the population, and it causes flu-like illness. It can last for weeks. Upper respiratory, it can lead to having a sore throat, irritated throat, aches, muscle pains, extreme fatigue, etc. It can last for weeks. EDV is not tested for in a standard respiratory virus panel, which may leave you feeling kind of let down because you don't know what you have, but it is making you very sick. Anyway, here are the wastewater numbers currently across the United States. This data is from a project out of Stanford University called wastewaterscan.org. You can go look at the data yourself. EDV can impact different people to different degrees. In general, treat it like you would any other virus. Lots of rest, lots of fluids. Don't overexert yourself and give yourself a long time to recover. It seems to come back because it is an enterovirus. It takes a little while to clear it from your system. Things like hand washing, wearing a mask, reducing the amount that you eat out can also help reduce the spread of this virus. But take care of yourself. Manage your symptoms with Tylenol, whatever works for you, and talk to your doctor, an advice nurse, or urgent care if you are in continued distress.
What did I tell y'all? I'm done eating the junk food. We got to take care of our bodies out here. All right. Because that's not helping you regardless. I know it's convenient. I know it's cheap. I know it's less expensive. When we watch videos and we react to videos on this channel talking about the economy and whatnot, but the truth is this junk food isn't helping you, which ties into a little bit of that EBT, no more junk food, soda, chips, candy type stuff. It doesn't help people get their health right. Whether you need the assistance or not, it doesn't help you get your health right. And long story short, you're going to run into health problems the more unhealthy foods you're consuming. And so if it doesn't help you, then it's causing another problem in the future. You're going to need assistance on that too. You know what I'm saying? Now something's going around, people saying wear a mask again. I'm not wearing no mask because I'm not the one sick. But I am not going to be around as much people as possible. And I'm also going to make sure that I'm sanitized, I'm washing my hands, I'm drinking plenty of water, okay? I'm exercising, I'm eating my vitamins or consuming my vitamins. You got to stay safe out here, man, because if you don't take care of yourself, then somebody else is going to take care of you, call the hospital, and it's going to be a lot more costly, and they're going to give you medicine and stuff. I'm not even the biggest medicine fanatic at all, because obviously this Western medicine is weak, man. It's weak. And you're best to just stay healthy and not even have to go to the hospital or go to the doctors. I don't want to go to the doctors for anything besides a checkup. That's it. And some blood work. That's it. I don't want to have to go for anything else. No symptoms, not injuring myself. I'm good.
Okay, so I got the weird mystery virus thing and I was able to feel better within like under 2 days, and so I want to tell you guys like what helped me because nobody was helping me figure out what to do. I literally woke up at 3:30 the first night with such bad body aches that I thought I was like gonna, like I went into my mom's room like telling her, but like the body aches were the thing that was the worst for me, and the throat, feeling like there's like glass in your throat. So the first thing is obvious, but stay hydrated. For me, when I have a sore throat, it's really hard to drink water, so I would recommend Gatorade. Gatorade is
electrolyte.
Was easier for me to drink, and it gives you those electrolytes. And then medicine-wise, I would recommend doing this even when you're feeling a little bit better, because if you go like cold turkey off of the medicine, it's not really gonna feel better right away. It's gonna get worse, which I'm not a doctor at all, but this is just what helped my body. Which is NyQuil and Dayquil. So for Dayquil, it has Tylenol in it, so you can rotate between Dayquil and ibuprofen every 4 hours. So that's what I would do during the daytime. And then baths with essential oil and salts like Epsom salt, magnesium salt, and then my mom just put some essential oils in the bath for me. I would look up ones that are muscle relaxers because that's how I got my body aches to go away. I did it in the morning and then do it at night before you go to bed. Obviously, I'm not like fully 100%, as you can tell from my voice, but I feel so much better than I did the past 1.5 days. So like the other biggest thing is like getting sleep, and I could not sleep because of the body aches and my sore throat, so I did everything I could to be able to sleep, and I got like 12 hours last night. Basically after the bath, right before bed, I took NyQuil, and then nasal spray, just like a saline nasal spray will help clear your like passageways, and then Vicks Vapor Rub. I put that like on my chest and also on the bottom of my feet, and I just have like stress relief lotion, but like sleepy time lotion. And then I've heard humidifiers work, but we like don't have one, so I just have like a big diffuser that I've been using, and then a sound maker, and then a sleep mask, so I was just like fully in night mode. I also propped up my pillow a little bit so I wasn't just laying like completely flat. This might just be the placebo, but taking deep breaths really helped my like muscles relax when they were really achy.
You do get more oxygen in your muscles, at least when you're exercising. And I'm not going to say verbatim your muscles, but your whole body, your blood oxygen levels. But that does definitely help you recover faster. But man, obviously this is nothing to play around with. I mean, she said it feels like glasses in your throat. Another lady explained that it feels like she's swallowing knives. And then she's talking about the muscle pain. Like, I just want to see what the comment section is going to say on this, because again, like this is like, I watched this stuff for the first time as we're reacting to it. It looks like a couple people in the comment section. Let's see if we can drag it over here. Right. Someone said it's not a mystery. It's adenovirus, adenovirus. No appetite, incredibly cold all day, sweating at night, body aches, leg muscles are aching, shaking, headaches, lightheaded, cough is horrible. The body aches had me wailing. Gatorade and anything with dyes in it literally made my throat feel like it's getting tore up even worse than it felt before. Y'all, something is going around. Obviously, something is going around. But someone claimed it was adenovirus. I believe the other lady, who wasn't a nurse, but someone who knew more about it, and it was sort of kind of her profession, talked about it being something like an adenovirus or something. So make sure you stay safe out here. Eat your vitamin C. Have probiotics. Make sure you're exercising. Stop eating junk food. And take care of your health, man. Take care of your health, because if you don't have your health, you ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. These people talking about how they feel like it was the end for them. That's crazy. That's crazy. If you like this type of content, make sure you subscribe and let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. All right, y'all. Next up, we're going to go ahead and cover Lululemon giving racial profiling, not even giving racial profiling, but someone experiencing racial profiling apparently at Lululemon. Let's see what's going on over there. All right, we're back, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and cover this Lululemon story and see what's going on over there, because the lady claimed on TikTok that she was getting racially profiled on from Lululemon. So All right, so just a little heads up before we get into that story. We may lose internet during the show because apparently certain outlets aren't working. So just a heads up, and we may have to reconnect since we're not having connection. So anyways. Yeah, we're gonna lose internet. So we're gonna finish the show tomorrow morning when we're not having these difficulties. I do apologize, but we did show up live, and at least we got 2 clips done. But I promise we're gonna show up tomorrow, finishing the rest of the show with the 4 other topics. All right. I appreciate everybody for watching, and subscribe if you like the content. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm out. Let's get it.